Big.
Our season's on the clock.
Our future's on the clock.
Our legacy is on the clock.
NFL draft, Detroit Lions, Chicago, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh Steelers. Like,
Yeah!
That's the one!
That's the pick!
I mean, listen, man, he's a rare athlete at his size, very explosive, high energy at the snap. Change of direction, foot speed at that size, just that pure mass, him being at that size and being as versatile as he can be. He projects at left tackle in the league, but he also has the versatility to play inside at the guard positions, which for the Ravens would be a godsend as the line isn't truly formed yet, and you might have to mix and match some pieces to get the best five offensive linemen on the field. So it could be a situation his rookie year if we were to draft him the back end of the first round. Could be year one he starts as a guard. You know what I mean? And then we work from there as we figure out what Ronnie Stanley's future is with the team. Because as of right now, it may be cheaper long term to part with Ronnie Stanley after the season as opposed to before. I know that's not like promising news for Ravens fans in that sense, but you have to bank on the bounce back for Ronnie, because the way the cap and the dead money is situated, it might be advantageous for us to move off of him next season as opposed to this one. So, you bring in someone like Jordan Morgan who can project as the future left tackle, but also play inside, to start. He tore his ACL in 2022. So what he was able to show was that he's a hell of a healer. He healed well. He came back with a vengeance. And then you see it in the tape, even like the leverage he's able to acquire, the knee bend, overpowering edge setters, that's all from power in the legs. That's all from torque. So again, the biggest knock on him is actually his prowess in the run game. So, that would be a first as far as, when we kind of evaluate our offensive linemen, having to be taught that and get coached up as far as the technique to be a run blocker. But I think that's all, something that can be worked on in training camp and mini camp. I think that's, technique. I think that's coaching. And I think he has the frame and the size and the speed to be able to be a hell of a run blocker. But he excels in pass protection. And that's something that I kind of want to emphasize, especially like when you get into those games where you feel like you have to get in a shootout. Lamar Jackson has to have the personnel that's necessary to be able to sit in the pocket, look at his reads, and get the ball to his playmakers. And you need pass blocking O linemen to be able to do that. Versatile O linemen to be able to do everything. So that's kind of where we have to look at in these veins. So if we can get him in the back of the first round, or if we stay packed there, I think he'll be a candidate depending on how the board shakes out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I liked about him, Nick. He was that first step off the ball. Too many times we've seen over the past couple of years that DE just blow right by Stanley on the outside. I liked his agility and his versatility on the outside of that old line. Looks real good in pass protection. Be curious to see how he looks in run in as far as the run goes. But I think he'd be a dynamic addition to our offensive line.
Yeah, for sure. And he shows at Arizona that he was a hell of a competitor. Has a nasty streak. And those are all the qualities you want to see in your first round lineman, the cornerstones, so to speak, that you would draft in that first 32. So, I mean, again, I personally like the versatility. He doesn't have to wait behind Ronnie. He could slide over to left guard. There's an opening there with John Simpson being not likely in our future. He could slide at right guard where there's a little bit more competition. Ben Cleveland would be the incumbent in that situation. He could slide to right tackle. There could be possibly a hole with Morgan Moses, and not knowing if what the certainty is at the right tackle position. So it all would depend on how you can mix and match, who you get in free agency, who else you get in the draft, who needs to slot where, and that versatility will help when trying to get the best five on the field.
Facts, absolutely.